Tonight, I'm going to share with you a terrifying tale that has haunted Blackwood Mansion for decades. The shadows inside this mansion don't just linger, they whisper your deepest fears. But the question is, do you dare to listen until the very end? Blackwood Mansion. A cold, eerie estate that had been abandoned for years. Once home to a wealthy family, the mansion became deserted after a series of bizarre incidents. Locals often spoke in hushed tones about the mansion. Rumors swirled about strange occurrences and the fact that no one who ventured inside ever came back the same. Have you ever stood outside an old house and felt that shiver down your spine? That feeling that something is there, something you can't see but can feel watching you? As I stood before Blackwood Mansion, I felt that same sensation. The air was thick with something I couldn't explain. I knew I wasn't alone. One day, a traveler named John decided to uncover the truth behind the mansion's haunting history. He wasn't afraid of the rumors or the warnings. He entered the mansion with nothing but his flashlight and his curiosity. The house was still, silent. But that silence was deceiving. As he wandered deeper into the mansion, a strange feeling washed over him. It wasn't the quiet of an abandoned house, it was the oppressive silence of something watching, something waiting. Slowly, John began to hear faint whispers. John, the voice was soft, almost as if it was just a trick of the wind. But no, it was there again. John, it was calling his name. But there was no one in sight. At first, John tried to convince himself it was his imagination. But the whispers grew louder, more insistent. He felt as though they were coming from the walls, from the very air around him. He turned to leave, but the whispering followed him. John, over and over again. He hurried through the mansion, but the voices didn't stop. They grew closer, as if something, was right behind him. His heart raced. The air became colder, and every step he took felt like he was walking deeper into a nightmare. As he turned a corner, the temperature dropped drastically. He could see his breath. The shadows in the hallway stretched unnaturally long, bending as though they were alive. He felt something watching him, breathing down his neck. He whipped around, but there was no one there. Suddenly, the whispers stopped. For a moment, there was only silence. But then, as John looked around, he saw it. A shadow, a figure, standing in the doorway of a dark room ahead. The figure was indistinct, like a silhouette, but its presence was undeniable. "Go, leave this place, or you will never leave." The voice was clear now, cold and menacing. John's body froze. The figure stepped forward, and as it did, the door creaked open by itself. The figure didn't move much, but the air around it seemed to pulse with an unseen power. In that instant, John realized he wasn't just dealing with a haunted house. He was dealing with something ancient, something malevolent that had been waiting for years. The whispers had stopped, but the chilling feeling remained. As he turned to flee, he noticed the door behind him. The door he had just passed through was now shut. And it wouldn't open. He pounded on the door, but it remained sealed, as though it was mocking him. The whispers began again, but this time, they weren't coming from the walls or the air. They were coming from the shadows themselves. The same shadow he had seen earlier started to move, its form becoming clearer, an outline of a face, its eyes glowing with an unnatural light. "You shouldn't have come." The voice was now louder, more urgent. "You've entered our world, and now you'll never leave." John's flashlight flickered and died. The mansion, the shadows, everything seemed to close in around him. His heart pounded in his chest as he turned to run again, but it was too late. The last thing he saw was the shadow's face, and then, darkness. John was never seen again. And to this day, the whispers of Blackwood Mansion still echo in the night. People say, if you listen closely, you can hear the name John being called from the dark corners of the house. but no one who listens ever returns. So, if you ever find yourself near Blackwood Mansion, remember this: the shadows are not just shadows, and the whispers are not just voices. They are a warning you should never ignore. And now, let me ask you, do you dare to listen? Or will you, like John, be swallowed by the darkness? If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to ShadowWhisper FM for more chilling tales from the supernatural world. Hit the bell icon to never miss out on our weekly ghost stories, and don't forget to share your thoughts or your own spooky experiences in the comments below. Stay tuned, because the shadows are always waiting.